The gun was 3 inches from his head when she shoved him aside and took the bullet meant for him. Sofia Martinez, a waitress working 3 jobs just to survive. The man she saved? Dante Moretti, Chicago's most dangerous mafia boss. Now she's trapped in his world. And the only way she survives is if he protects her. This is the story of how a bullet changed 2 lives forever. The espresso machine hissed like an angry cat. Steam rose in wispy tendrils, disappearing into the dim lighting of Cafe Impero. Sophia wiped her damp hands on the black apron, tied too tightly around her waist. 4th double shift this week. The evidence lived in the dark circles beneath her eyes, the kind no amount of concealer could hide. Her reflection in the polished chrome showed a woman she barely recognized anymore. Hollow-cheeked, exhausted, invisible to the world except when someone needed their cup refilled. 27 years old, already felt 50. Chicago's Little Italy hummed with its usual Wednesday night energy. Tourists paid $30 for pasta their grandmothers made better. Businessmen nursed expensive wine, loosening ties, pretending their problems didn't exist for an hour. Sophia carried other people's needs with practiced precision. The weight familiar after years of serving, smiling, surviving. 3 jobs, 14-hour days, 6 days a week. The math never worked. No matter how hard she calculated, how many shifts she pulled, how little she spent on herself, the numbers always came up short. $47,000 in medical debt. Her mother, Carmen, lupus getting worse each month. Treatments cost $4,000 every 30 days. Insurance covered half, maybe. The hospital bills arrived like clockwork, each one a reminder of time running out. Then there was Bella, 19, bright-eyed, everything Sophia used to be before life taught her otherwise. Nursing school cost $18,000 a year. Sophia had dropped out of the community college 8 years ago to pay for grandmother Rosa's cancer treatments. She wouldn't let Bella make the same sacrifice. Rent due Friday. Sophia was short $300, again. But Sophia had one gift the other waitresses didn't possess. She noticed things, details most people missed. The small tells that revealed everything. Table 4. The businessman in the navy suit checked his phone every 30 seconds. His jaw tightened each time. Bad news coming. Sophia would bring the check early, save him the anxiety of waiting. Table 2. The old man who came alone every Thursday. Same meal. Chicken parmesan, no pasta, extra vegetables. He still wore his wedding ring, though the tan line suggested it was recent. A widower. Sophia always warmed his bread without asking. Never mentioned the way his hands shook when he ate. Booth 6, first date. The young couple sat with 6 inches of table between them. Nervous energy. Sophia would recommend dishes they could share, give them an excuse to lean closer. Sophia saw people, really saw them. Their pain, their guaichuai, their secrets hidden behind polite smiles. It made her a good waitress. The best, according to Tony, the owner. Tips reflected it. It also made her lonely. Because when you see everyone, you realize no one sees you. Every Friday, Sophia split her tips with Miguel, the busboy. 23, twin daughters, 4 years old. His wife cleaned hotels overnight. They were drowning, just like Sophia, gasping for air in a system designed to keep them under. "You don't have to do this," Miguel said every week. "I know," Sophia always answered. But she did it anyway. Her grandmother, Rosa, had worked 2 jobs after the accident. Factory work that filled her lungs with chemicals, destroyed them slowly over 30 years. Also, Sophia could eat, could go to school, could have a chance at something better. Rosa died owing $47,000 to hospitals, the same amount Sophia now owed. 8 years of payments, barely made a dent. But every Friday, Sophia split her tips with Miguel, because someone had helped her once, and that's what good people did. The man in the corner booth had been coming every Wednesday for 6 weeks now. Same time, 9 p.m. sharp, reserved table though he never called ahead. Tony kept booth 7 open, turned away other customers if necessary. Sophia knew who he was. Everyone did. Dante Moretti. Even his name carried weight in Little Italy. Whispered in kitchens, avoided in conversation. The kind of name that made grown men nervous. He didn't announce himself, didn't need to. When Dante Moretti entered a room, conversations died. Eyes dropped, backs straightened. Tony, who yelled at everyone, brought Dante's wine personally. Hands shaking, voice quiet, respectful. Dante sat alone. Always. No bodyguards visible, though Sophia suspected they existed somewhere in shadows. He dressed in suits that cost more than Sophia earned in 6 months. Italian cut, perfect tailoring. The kind of clothes that announced wealth without shouting. Dark hair showing silver at the temples. Late 30s, maybe. Handsome in a dangerous way. Sharp cheekbones, strong jaw. Eyes that missed nothing. Those eyes, amber flecked with gold. The eyes of a predator, always calculating, always aware. He ordered the same wine every week. Barolo, $300 a bottle. Drank one glass, left the rest. Sophia had served him twice. Brief interactions. He was polite, distant, tipped exactly 20%. Not generous, not cheap, precisely correct. Tonight felt different. The air held tension Sophia couldn't name, a heaviness that made her shoulder blades itch. Dante sat in his usual booth, studying the menu, though he always ordered the same thing. Osso buco, no sides, 9:15. 3 men entered. Wrong. Everything about them screamed wrong. They moved with purpose. Not the casual stroll of diners, the focused approach of men with a job to do. The restaurant fell silent. That particular silence when prey senses predators. Sophia stood at table 3, water pitcher in hand, close enough to hear. The tallest man approached Dante's booth, gold tooth gleaming when he smiled. No warmth in it. Moretti, not a greeting, a challenge. Dante didn't look up from his menu. Gentlemen, Mr. Rossi wants a word. Tell Mr. Rossi I'm having dinner. Wasn't a request. Still no. The temperature in the room dropped 10 degrees. Gold Tooth's hand moved toward his jacket, slow, deliberate, making sure Dante saw. Sophia saw too. Metal catching restaurant light. Chrome, compact. A handgun emerging from a shoulder holster. Time fractured. Everything slowed to individual frames. The gun clearing the jacket. Dante's eyes lifting, recognizing danger too late. Gold Tooth's finger finding the trigger. Sophia's grandmother Rosa, her voice clear across 8 years of silence. When you see someone in danger, you don't think, Misha. You act. Courage isn't the absence of fear. It's doing what's right when you're terrified. Sophia was terrified. Her body moved before her brain caught up. 6 feet crossed in 2 strides. The water pitcher falling, shattering, ignored. She hit Dante with her shoulder. All 120 pounds behind it. Shoved him sideways out of the booth. He stumbled, surprised, off balance. The gun fired. The sound hit like a physical force, deafening in the enclosed space. Sophia's ears rang, high-pitched whine drowning everything. Fire erupted in her left shoulder. Not fire. Worse than fire. Like someone pressed a white-hot poker straight through muscle and bone and nerve. Her legs gave out. No warning. Just suddenly the floor rushing up to meet her. She hit hard, cheek against hardwood. The impact should have hurt, didn't register. All pain concentrated in one point, her shoulder. Screaming, burning, radiating down her arm, across her chest, up her neck. Warm wetness spreading, soaking her shirt, pooling beneath her. Red. So much red. Sophia's vision tunneled, colors fading to gray at the edges. She watched her blood spread across the floor with odd detachment. Clinical, like observing someone else's injury. This is what dying feels like, she thought. Quieter than expected. Almost peaceful. Just cold. So cold. More gunshots, distant, underwater. 3 sharp cracks in quick succession. Shouting, words without meaning, running footsteps, crashes. The sound of bodies hitting furniture. Through it all, Sophia lay still. Couldn't move. Wasn't sure she wanted to. Grandmother Rosa would be disappointed. All those years of sacrifice. For Sophia to die on a restaurant floor at 27. Then a face appeared above her. Dante Moretti. His expression, something Sophia had never seen on any human face. Rage so pure, so absolute, it seemed to radiate physical heat, like staring into the sun. but his hands touching her face, gentle, impossibly gentle for someone whose eyes promised murder. Sophia, he knew her name. Through 6 weeks of polite distance, he'd learned her name. Why would you do that? Stupid, brave girl. She tried to answer, wanted to explain, coughed instead, tasted copper, blood in her mouth. Don't speak. His thumb brushed her cheekbone, reverent, like she was something precious. Help is coming. Stay with me. Please, Sophia, stay with me. His other hand pressed against her shoulder, trying to stop the bleeding. She felt the pressure, distant, disconnected from her body. Dante barked orders. Italian? Rapid fire. Command voice. General directing troops. Other faces appeared. Men in dark suits, moving with military precision. Someone lifted her, careful, cradling her like something fragile. The last thing Sophia registered before darkness claimed her completely. The press of lips against her forehead, warm, tender. In Dante's voice, barely a whisper. I will burn this city to the ground if you leave me now. Strange promise from a stranger. But Sophia believed him. Then nothing. Sophia didn't see what happened in those next minutes, but others did. Dante Moretti, who never lost control, who built an empire on calculated calm, held a dying waitress and roared orders like a man possessed. Vincent, call Dr. Chow, now, not the hospital. Here, Marcus, clear the back room, we need a clean space. Olivia, get my car around back, move. His men scattered, no questions, no hesitation. The 3 shooters lay dead, all of them. Dante's security had materialized from wherever they'd been stationed. Return fire with professional precision. Perfect shots. Center mass. The shooters never had a chance. Gold Tooth lay crumpled near the entrance, eyes open, seeing nothing. The other 2 hadn't made it 5 feet from Dante's booth. Tony stood behind the bar, face white, hands shaking. Dante caught his eye. The security footage, all of it. I need the hard drives. So, yes, Mr. Moretti, of course. And Tony, this conversation never happened. These men were never here. Understood? Tony nodded. He understood. Everyone in Little Italy understood. Some things you saw, some things you didn't. This fell firmly in the second category. Dante lifted Sophia himself, so carefully, like she was made of glass. She weighed nothing in his arms. Bird bones, working herself to death to survive. Blood soaked his suit. Armani. $10,000. Ruined. He didn't care. Didn't even notice. Marcus appeared at his elbow. Sir, an ambulance. No hospitals. Too exposed. Dr. Chow meets us at the house. She's lost a lot of blood. Then drive faster. Dante carried Sophia to the waiting SUV, slid into the back seat, still cradling her. Her head rested against his chest, her breathing shallow, irregular, each breath a fight. His hand pressed a wadded cloth napkin against the wound, pathetically inadequate. Blood seeped through immediately, but he kept pressure, kept trying. Stay with me, he murmured. Not an order, a prayer. Stay with me, Sophia. You don't get to die. Not for me, not for anyone. Stay. He repeated it over and over. Mantra, plea, promise. The SUV tore through Chicago streets. Red lights ignored. Speed limits meaningless. Marcus drove like a man being chased by demons. Maybe he was. Dante didn't look away from Sophia's face, watching for any change, any sign. Her eyes moved beneath closed lids. Rapid eye movement. Dreaming maybe, or dying. He didn't know. I don't even know you, speaking to her unconscious form. 6 weeks, 2 conversations. You served me wine and smiled politely, and I never looked past the uniform. Never asked your name. Had to check your name tag when you fell. His thumb traced her cheekbone. Hollow, underfed, working herself to nothing. But you saw a stranger in danger and didn't hesitate, didn't calculate odds, didn't weigh cost versus benefit. Just acted. Do you know how rare that is? In my world, in any world? The SUV screeched to a stop. Dante's estate, 20 acres, Gates, walls, security that rivaled military installations. Dr. Chow waited at the entrance, 60 years old, steady hands, no questions asked. He'd been treating the Moretti family for 30 years, seen everything. This barely made him blink. Inside, medical wing now. They'd converted 2 rooms years ago, after Dante's father, after they learned hospitals meant questions, police, complications. Clean room, surgical lights, equipment that would make most emergency rooms jealous. Dante laid Sophia on the table, stepped back, let Dr. Chow work. Out, Dr. Chow said, not unkindly. I need space. Dante didn't move. Dante, out. You can't help here. Let me do my job. Luca, Dante's nephew, appeared at his shoulder. Younger, 29, head of security. He'd been handling the cleanup at the restaurant. Uncle, come on, let the doctor work. Dante let himself be led out, stood in the hallway, paced, hands clenching and unclenching. Blood covered him. Her blood, dried on his hands, staining his shirt. He should clean up. Change. Didn't. She's a fighter, Luca said quietly. She's still breathing. That's something. She took a bullet meant for me. I know. She didn't even know who I was. That might be why she did it. Dante stopped pacing, looked at his nephew. What does that mean? Means she didn't save you for reward, didn't save you for status, didn't save you because she feared what would happen if she didn't. She saved you because it was right, in that moment. That's all that mattered to her. You're saying she's stupid. I'm saying she's good, real good, the kind that's almost extinct. Luca paused. In our world, that's dangerous. For her and for you. Why for me? Because you're going to feel responsible. You're going to protect her. And protection creates attachment. Attachment creates weakness. Weakness. I know what weakness creates. Dante's voice went cold, flat. I've lived 38 years avoiding it. And in 30 seconds, she made it unavoidable. They stood in silence. Hours passed. 3, 4. No sense of time in the windowless hallway. Finally, Der Chow emerged. Bloody gloves removed. Face tired but satisfied. She'll live. Dante's knees nearly gave out. He locked them. Remained upright. How bad? Bullet missed the artery by 2 centimeters. Lucky. Very lucky. Damaged muscle tissue, lots of it, but nothing catastrophic. No bone fragments. Clean through and through. I've repaired what I can. The rest is time and physical therapy. When will she wake up? Could be hours, could be days. Her body went through major trauma. It needs rest. I've sedated her. Keep her comfortable. When she wakes, she'll be in pain. I'll leave medication. But she's young, healthy despite being undernourished. She should make a full recovery. Should, not will. Dante heard the difference. Can I see her? Dr. Chow gestured. Room 2. But let her rest. No stress when she wakes. She'll be confused, frightened. Go easy. Dante entered the recovery room. Sophia lay in the hospital bed, so small, pale against white sheets, IV in her arm, monitor beeping steady rhythm, bandages wrapped around her left shoulder and chest. Alive. Breathing. Dante pulled a chair close to the bed, sat, took her right hand carefully, her skin cold. He rubbed warmth into it. 3 weeks ago, he said quietly, you served me wine. Smiled, said enjoy your evening, sir. I didn't acknowledge you beyond a nod. Didn't see you. Just another server. Another invisible person making my life convenient. Her hand was tiny in his. Calloused. Working hands. 2 weeks ago, you noticed I was reading documents in Italian. Next time I came, you'd learn 3 phrases. Buonasera. Come sta? Posso aiutarla? Your accent was terrible, but you tried to make me feel welcome, to see me beyond the name, beyond the reputation. The monitor beeped, steady, strong. Last week there was an elderly couple celebrating their anniversary, 50 years. You gave them the best table, told Tony to give them champagne. On your dime, your tips, you made their night special. then went back to serving other tables like it was nothing. Dante's voice dropped, barely audible. Tonight you saved my life. Took a bullet meant for me. And I still don't know your favorite color. Don't know if you have family. Don't know your dreams. Don't know anything except you're the bravest person I've ever met. He lifted her hand, pressed his lips to her knuckles. Gentle, reverent. I don't know what happens next, how this changes things, but I make you this promise, Sofia Martinez. You will never be invisible again. Not to me, not to anyone. I will make sure of it. The monitor beeped. Sophia slept. Dante kept vigil. 3 days passed. Dante left the room only when forced. To shower, to change, to handle urgent business that couldn't wait. He had people to manage, an empire to run, wars to prevent. But it all felt distant, secondary. He ate meals sitting beside Sophia's bed, took calls there, reviewed documents, made decisions that affected hundreds of lives, all while watching her breathe. His staff learned quickly. Don't ask questions. Don't comment. Bring what's needed. Leave. Olivia Chen, his operations manager, came on day 2. The restaurant is clean, she reported, standing at the foot of Sophia's bed. Tony's cooperating. Security footage is gone. The bodies were removed. No police involvement. Good. The 3 shooters were Rossi's men, low-level, expendable, sent to make a statement. Vincent Rossi, rival family. They'd been encroaching on Moretti territory for months. Small provocations, testing boundaries. This was an escalation. Rossi's declaring war, Dante said. Not a question. Appears so. We've increased security, doubled patrols, but he got close, Dante. Too close. Someone fed him your schedule, your location, your routine. Traitor into the ranks. Has to be. I'm working on it quietly. But until we know who, Olivia's eyes moved to Sophia. She's vulnerable. More than she knows. Meaning? Meaning Rossi now knows she saved you. Saw her face, knows she matters. That makes her a target. Or leverage. Dante's hand tightened around Sophia's. No one touches her. I'm not arguing. I'm planning. We need to discuss options. For when she wakes. For what comes next. Later. Dante. Later, Olivia, please. She studied him, reading subtext he didn't bother hiding. After 20 years working together, she knew him too well. All right, later. But soon, we can't protect her if she's in the dark. She needs to understand what she walked into. After Olivia left, Dante returned to his vigil. You're going to wake up to a nightmare, he told Sophia's sleeping form. I wish I could change that. Send you back to your life. Your tiny apartment, your 3 jobs, your invisibility. It was safer, simpler. The monitor beeped. But you saved me, and in my world, that creates a debt, an obligation. I can never repay what you did, but I'll spend the rest of my life trying. He paused, considering his next words carefully. I'm going to give you choices, real ones, not forced, not coerced, your life, your decision. But I need you to understand the stakes first. Need you to see clearly what staying near me means. The monitor beeped. And if you choose to leave, I'll respect that. Help you disappear. New identity, new city, clean slate. Whatever you need to be safe, to be free of this. Another pause, longer. But if you stay, his voice dropped. If you choose to stay, I'll give you everything. Protection, resources, purpose, a life beyond survival, beyond invisibility. You'll matter, Sophia, not as a debt to be repaid, but as someone valued, seen, heard. He stood, leaned over, pressed his lips to her forehead. Gentle, chaste. Wake up soon, he whispered. We have a lot to discuss. On the morning of day 4, Sophia's eyelids fluttered. Dante saw it immediately. He'd been reading documents. Glanced up, caught the movement. Sophia? Her eyes opened. Slowly, blinking against the light. Unfamiliar ceiling, unfamiliar room, confusion, then fear. She tried to sit up. Pain lanced through her shoulder. She gasped, fell back against pillows. Easy. Dante's hand on her right arm, steadying. Don't move too quickly. You're safe. You're healing. Sophia's eyes found his, recognition dawning. You. Her voice came out raspy, throat dry from days of unconsciousness. Me. Dante reached for water, held the glass to her lips. Small sips. She drank, grateful. The water helped. Where am I? My home, private medical wing. You've been unconscious for 3 days. 3 days, Sophia processed this, tried to remember. The restaurant, the gun, shoving someone, fire in her shoulder. I was shot. Yes. The men, dead. All 3, they won't hurt anyone again. She should feel something about that. Horror, maybe. Instead, only relief. Her hand moved to her shoulder. Touched bandages. How bad? Bullet missed the artery. Lucky. Damaged muscle tissue. The doctor says you'll recover completely, with physical therapy. Sophia closed her eyes, absorbing. When she opened them again, focused on Dante with new intensity. Why did you do that? He asked quietly. Do what? Save me. You could have died. So could you. You didn't even know me. Sophia met his eyes, held his gaze. Didn't matter. Someone was in danger. I couldn't just stand there. Dante stared at her. This woman, this impossible woman who'd upended his carefully controlled world in 30 seconds. You have no idea what you've done, he said, not unkind, almost sad. I saved your life. You saved my life, yes, and in doing so, walked into a war you didn't know existed, against an enemy you've never met, who now knows your face, knows you matter to me, whether that's true or not. Sophia's face paled. I don't understand. I know, that's the problem. Dante pulled his chair closer. My name is Dante Moretti. Does that mean anything to you? You come to the restaurant every Wednesday, booth 7, Barolo wine, Osobuco. Despite everything, he almost smiled. Beyond that, people are afraid of you. Yes. Why? Because I run certain businesses in Chicago, some legal, some less so, and men in my position make enemies, dangerous ones. Sophia's breathing quickened. Mafia. Organized crime is the preferred term, but yes. I saved a crime boss. You saved a man. Who happens to be a crime boss? There's a difference? I'd like to think so. They sat in silence, Sophia processing, Dante waiting. Finally, she spoke. You said enemies. The men who shot me. They're your enemies? Yes, working for Vincent Rossi, a rival family. We've been at odds for years. Recently, it's escalated. Tonight was their move. And because I helped you, they'll come after me. Possibly, probably. Dante's jaw tightened. I'm sorry. Truly, you didn't ask for this. Don't deserve it. But reality doesn't care about deserve. So what happens now? Now we give you options. Dante stood, moved to the window, hands clasped behind his back, general posture, but tension visible in his shoulders. Option 1, witness protection. I have connections. Can arrange new identity, new city, new life. You disappear. Start over. Rossi never finds you. And my family? They'd have to believe you're gone. Dead maybe, or just gone. No contact. Too dangerous otherwise. Sophia's hands clenched the sheets. My mother has lupus. My sister's 19. They need me. I understand, which brings us to option 2. He turned, faced her. You stay here, under my protection, until we neutralize the threat. Could be weeks, could be months. You'd be safe, confined, but safe. A prisoner, a guest. There's a difference. Is there? Touché, Dante inclined his head. Fair point, but you'd have freedom within these walls. Access to anything you need. And when it's over, when Rossi's no longer a threat, you go back to your life. We part ways. That's 2 options. You said 3. Dante hesitated. This one was harder, more complicated. Option 3. You join my organization, officially as my personal assistant. Sophia blinked. You're what? I run legitimate businesses alongside less legitimate ones. real estate, investments, security consulting. I need someone to manage the clean side, handle schedules, correspondence, attend functions. You want me to work for the Mafia? I want you to work for me, the legitimate me. You'd never be involved in illegal activities. Never asked to do anything criminal. Just business. Normal business. Nothing about this is normal. True, but it would give you protection, status. In my world, being part of the organization means you're untouchable, off limits. No one would dare harm you without bringing down consequences they can't survive. Sophia stared at him. Why would you offer that? You don't know me. I know you took a bullet for a stranger. That tells me more than most people reveal in years. I could be a terrible assistant. I doubt that. You manage 3 jobs and notice details most people miss. You're observant, capable, and most importantly, you have no connection to this world. No agenda, no ulterior motives. He paused, considered his next words. I've spent my entire adult life surrounded by people who want something from me. Power, money, protection, fear. You're the first person in 20 years who helped me without knowing who I was, without calculating. That's valuable. Irreplaceable, actually. Sophia looked down at her hands, at the IV, the monitors, the evidence of how much her life had changed in 3 days. Can I think about it? Of course, take time. Heal. Decide when you're ready. And my family, while I'm deciding, already being protected, discreetly. They don't know, but eyes are on them. If Rossi or anyone else tries to reach them, we'll know. We'll stop it. You did that without asking me. Yes, because your mother and sister are what matter to you, which means they matter to me now, whether you accept any option or not. Sophia studied his face, really looked at him. Beyond the expensive clothes, the dangerous reputation, the power, saw something unexpected, sincerity, and beneath that, loneliness. What do you want me to choose? She asked quietly. Dante met her eyes. Honestly, I don't know. Part of me wants you safe, far from this, living a normal life. That's the right answer, the moral answer. And the other part? The other part is selfish, wants you to stay, to choose option 3, because in 3 days of sitting beside your bed, I've had more honest internal conversation than in 3 years of running an empire. You make me want to be better, different, the kind of man who deserves someone like you. The confession hung between them. Raw, vulnerable. Sophia's heart raced. Monitors reflected it, beeping faster. I need to call my sister, she said finally. My mother. They'll be worried. Tomorrow, secure line, untraceable. For tonight, rest, heal. Dante moved toward the door. I'll have Sophia, my housekeeper, bring you anything you need. Clean clothes, food, books, whatever helps. Dante, he stopped, looked back. Thank you for saving me. After I saved you, we're even now. Something flickered in his expression, almost pain. Sophia, we will never be even. I could spend my entire life repaying this debt. It still wouldn't balance. But I'm going to try anyway. He left. Sophia lay alone in the hospital bed, in a stranger's house, recovering from a gunshot wound. Her life completely altered, and somehow, inexplicably, feeling safer than she had in 8 years. Morning came with soft light filtering through unfamiliar windows. Sophia woke to the sound of birds. Real birds. Not the sirens and traffic of her neighborhood. For a moment, she forgot where she was. Then pain flared in her shoulder. Sharp reminder. Everything flooding back. The restaurant, the gun, Dante Moretti. 3 days unconscious. A gentle knock at the door. Come in, Sophia called, her voice still raspy. A woman entered, 40s, Asian, elegant in a way that spoke of money and taste. She carried a tray with breakfast and moved with the efficiency of someone who'd done this 1,000 times. Good morning, Miss Martinez. I'm Sophia Chen. Mr. Moretti asked me to help you. Just Sophia, please. Sophia smiled, warm but professional. Sophia, then. I've brought breakfast, light. Dr. Chow said your stomach might be sensitive after the medication. She set the tray on a mobile table, wheeled it over the bed, scrambled eggs, toast, fruit, orange juice. The smell made Sophia's stomach growl. I didn't realize how hungry I was. 3 days on IV fluids will do that. Sophia adjusted pillows behind Sophia's back, careful of the injured shoulder. Eat slowly. If you feel nauseous, stop immediately. Sophia obeyed. The eggs were perfect, fluffy, seasoned just right. She ate mechanically at first, then with appreciation. Real food, cooked with care. This is delicious. Mr. Moretti employs an excellent chef, Marcus. He's been with the family 30 years. Sophia paused. Mr. Moretti also asked me to prepare clothes for you. Your size. I hope I got it right. Sophia glanced at the closet, saw clothing through the partially open door. How did you know my size? I didn't. Mr. Moretti did. That stopped Sophia mid-bite. He knows my clothing size? He's very observant. It's part of what keeps him alive. Strange answer, strange situation. Sophia returned to eating. After breakfast, Sophia helped her to the bathroom. Embarrassing, needing assistance, but necessary. Sophia's legs felt weak, unsteady. The bathroom was larger than her bedroom at home. Marble everywhere, fixtures that probably cost more than her rent. A shower with 6 different heads. Can I shower? Dr. Chow said brief showers are acceptable. Keep the bandages dry. I have waterproof coverings. Sophia retrieved supplies from a cabinet. I'll help you. Another embarrassment. But Sophia swallowed pride, accepted help. The hot water felt like heaven. 3 days of unconsciousness left her feeling grimy despite sponge baths. She stood under the spray. Let it wash away dried blood. Fear. The lingering smell of gunpowder. Sophia waited outside, gave privacy but stayed close enough to help if needed. After, wrapped in a towel that felt like clouds, Sophia examined her reflection. Pale, thinner than she remembered. Dark circles under her eyes. Bandages wrapped around her left shoulder and chest. Purple bruising visible at the edges. She looked like a victim. Felt like a survivor. Important difference. Sophia had laid out clothes on the bed. Black jeans, soft sweater. Everything fit perfectly. Expensive brands Sophia recognized from magazines but never thought she'd wear. Mr. Moretti would like to see you, Sophia said. When you're ready, no rush. But he wanted to arrange that phone call. To your family. Family. Bella and Carmen. They must be terrified. I'm ready now. Sophia led her through the mansion. Sophia tried not to gawk. Failed. Hallways that seemed to stretch forever. Crown molding. Hardwood floors that gleamed. Artwork on walls. Real paintings. Not prints. Landscapes. Portraits. Some she recognized from art history classes she'd taken before dropping out. Windows overlooked manicured gardens. Acres of them. Stone walls in the distance. High. Topped with something that looked like sophisticated security. This wasn't a house, it was an estate. How big is this place? Main house is 15,000 square feet, 22 staff, plus security rotation. Sophia said it casually, like everyone lived this way. They passed other people, cleaning staff, a man in chef whites. Everyone nodded respectfully to Sophia, glanced at Sophia with curiosity but said nothing. Finally, they reached a study. Dark wood, leather furniture, floor-to-ceiling bookshelves filled with actual books, a massive desk, maps on one wall, Chicago, divided into sections, color-coded. Dante stood at the window, hands clasped behind his back. He'd changed from yesterday. Dark slacks, white shirt, sleeves rolled to his elbows, less formal, but still commanding. He turned when they entered. His eyes went immediately to Sophia, assessing, checking for signs of distress. How are you feeling? Better, sore, but better. Good, please sit. He gestured to a leather chair. Comfortable. She sank into it gratefully. Sophia excused herself, closed the door behind her. Dante moved to his desk, retrieved a phone, black, unmarked, handed it to Sophia. Secure line, untraceable. Call your sister. But Sophia, be careful what you say. Keep it vague. The less she knows, the safer she is. Sophia took the phone, hands shaking slightly. Dialed Bella's number from memory. One ring, two, then Bella's voice. Frantic. Hello? Who is this? Bella, it's me. Ellie? Oh my God. Oh my God. Where have you been? I've been calling for days. Your apartment, the restaurant won't say anything. Nobody knows where you are. I'm okay, Bella. I'm okay. Breathe. Hearing her sister's voice cracked something in Sophia's chest. Tears threatened. She fought them back. What happened? Where are you? Something happened at work, an incident. I had to leave for a while. I'm staying with a client. Private job. What kind of incident? Are you in trouble? No trouble. I promise. I can't come home right now. It's complicated, but I'm safe, Ifas. This doesn't sound safe. This sounds at time. I know it does. But Bella, I need you to trust me. Can you do that? Silence on the other end. Sophia heard her sister breathing, processing. Are you really okay? Not just saying it? I'm really okay, better than okay, actually. Which brings me to something important. Have you checked on Mom? Her treatments? That's the weird thing, Ellie. I went with her to the hospital yesterday for her regular appointment. They said her bills are paid. All of them, past and future. $47,000, just gone. Covered. Sophia's throat tightened. She looked at Dante. He'd moved back to the window, giving her privacy, but listening. Who paid it? Bella continued. The hospital won't say. Anonymous donor. And Ellie, my tuition, for next year, also paid. In full. What's going on? The client I'm working for, he's grateful. Very grateful. He has resources. This client, is he safe? Is he good? Sophia looked at Dante again, his back to her, shoulders tight, waiting for her answer. Was he good? Complicated question. He ran organized crime, hurt people probably, made decisions that cost lives. But he'd sat by her bed for 3 days, protected her family, given her choices. He's trying to be, Sophia said quietly. I think that counts for something. More silence. Then Bella's voice, smaller, scared. When will I see you? Soon, I promise. A few weeks maybe. I'll call again, check on you. In the meantime, take care of Mom. Make sure she gets to her appointments. And Bella? Yeah? I love you more than anything. You know that, right? I know, I love you too. Be careful, please. I will. Sophia ended the call, handed the phone back to Dante. Her hand shook. Thank you, she whispered. For them. The money. You didn't have to. Yes, I did. Dante pocketed the phone. Your family's debts are cleared, permanently. Medical bills, tuition, rent on your apartment through the end of the year. It's done. I can't repay you, boss. You already did, with a bullet in your shoulder. He moved closer, not crowding. Respectful distance. Sophia, the money is nothing, truly. I spend more on wine in a month than it costs to free your family from debt. Please, let me do this. It's the least I can offer. Sophia nodded, too overwhelmed to argue. Now, Dante's voice shifted, business mode. We need to discuss your options. Have you thought about what I said? All night. And? Sophia took a breath, made her decision. Option 3. I'll work for you, as your assistant. Something flickered in Dante's expression. Relief? Pleasure? Both? You're sure? No, but hiding or running feels like giving up. And I don't give up. She met his eyes. But I have conditions. Name them. First, I need to understand what I'm getting into. No secrets. If I'm going to do this, I need to know exactly who you are, what you do. Both sides. Agreed. Second, regular contact with my family, phone calls, eventually visits. I won't be cut off from them. Of course, we'll arrange secure meetings. Away from here, neutral locations. Third, Sophia paused. This one was harder. I don't want special treatment because of what happened. I want to earn my place. Prove I'm valuable beyond the debt you think you owe. Dante studied her. You have nothing to prove, but if that's important to you, I'll respect it. Then we have a deal. We have a deal. Dante extended his hand. Sophia took it, his grip warm, firm, sealing something more than a business arrangement. Welcome to the family, Sophia Martinez. The word family echoed. Strange, significant. Sophia had walked into a restaurant 4 days ago. A waitress, invisible, drowning in debt. She'd walked out forever changed, no going back now. That afternoon, Dante introduced Sophia to his inner circle. 7 men gathered in the study, different ages, different roles, all watching her with varying degrees of curiosity and skepticism. "Gentlemen," Dante began, authority in his voice, "this is Sophia Martinez. She saved my life. She's now under my protection as my personal assistant. Anyone who harms her answers to me personally. Understood?" Murmured agreement, some sincere, some perfunctory. "Sophia," Dante gestured to each man, "my nephew, Luca Moretti, head of security." Luca stepped forward, younger than Dante, maybe 30, athletic build, scar bisecting his left eyebrow, kind eyes despite the dangerous profession. He extended his hand. Sophia shook it. "Uncle talks about you constantly," Luca said. Slight smile. "Thank you for what you did. Our family owes you." "I didn't do it for debt." "I know, that's why it matters." Next came Marcus, older, silver hair, warm eyes, gentle handshake. "Operations manager. Anything you need, you ask me. I've been with this family 30 years, seen everything. Nothing shocks me anymore." Then Vincent, not Rossi, different Vincent, tech specialist, tattoos visible under rolled sleeves, younger, maybe 25. He nodded instead of shaking hands. "I handle digital, security systems, communications, surveillance. If it plugs in, I manage it." Thomas next, quiet, intense, military bearing. "Driver and logistics. I move people, move cargo, make sure things arrive where they need to be." Antonio, oldest of the group, 60s, impeccable suit, sharp intelligence in his eyes. "Consigliere, advisor. I counsel Dante on matters requiring discretion and experience." He studied Sophia longer than the others, assessing, calculating. She felt weighed, measured. Finally Marco, Dante's cousin, handsome, expensive suit, perfect smile, but his eyes stayed cold when they landed on Sophia. "I manage international interests, shipping, import-export, the global side of our operations." His handshake was perfunctory, no warmth. Sophia noted it, filed it away. "Now that introductions are complete," Dante said, "let's discuss the situation." He moved to the maps on the wall, pointed to sections of Chicago highlighted in different colors. "We control these territories. Blue, Vincent Rossi controls these. Red. For years we've maintained balance. Tension, but manageable. Until recently," Antonio added. "Until recently," Dante agreed. 3 months ago, Rossi started pushing. Small provocations, testing boundaries, moving into our areas, undercutting our operations." "Why?" Sophia asked. Sophia. Everyone turned. She flushed but continued. "Why escalate after years of balance?" "Good question." Dante looked at Antonio. "Rossi's losing power," the old advisor explained. "Internal challenges. His own people questioning his leadership. He needs a win, something to prove he's still strong. Taking Moretti territory would accomplish that. So he sent men to kill you." Sophia processed this. "At the restaurant, that was a statement." "Exactly." Dante's expression darkened. "Sloppy execution. Desperate. Which makes him more dangerous. A cornered animal fights without strategy." Luca stepped forward. "We've increased security, doubled patrols, vetted everyone on payroll. But boss, someone fed Rossi your schedule, your location, your routine. We have a leak." The room went silent, heavy. "You think someone here betrayed you?" Sophia's voice quiet. "Not in this room," Dante said. "These men are family, blood or decades of loyalty, but someone with access, someone close enough to know details." He paused. "And that person is still out there, feeding information." "Which means," Marcus said slowly, "until we find them, nobody's safe. Not you, not us, and especially not Sophia." All eyes moved to her. Sophia straightened despite pain in her shoulder. "I can help." Marco laughed, sharp, bitter. "Help how? No offense, but you're a waitress. What do you know about finding traitors?" "Marco," Dante's voice went cold. "Warning, I'm just saying this is serious. Life and death. We don't need civilians playing detective. She's not playing, Lucas said. Defensive. She noticed the poison in your wine, uncle. Saw what we all missed. Maybe she'll see the traitor too. Or maybe she'll get herself killed, Marco shot back. Enough. Dante's command cut through the tension. Sophia is part of this organization now. Under my protection. You will treat her with respect. Is that clear, cousin? Marco's jaw tightened, but he nodded. Clear, boss. The meeting continued. Strategies discussed. Security protocols updated. Sophia listened, absorbed, noticed small things. The way Marcus touched his watch when discussing certain shipments. Nervous tell. How Antonio's eyes flickered left every time he mentioned specific names. Considering. Calculating. The tension between Marco and Dante. Old. Deep. More than disagreement about Sophia. After the meeting dispersed, Dante asked Sophia to stay. What did you see, he asked when they were alone. What do you mean? You were watching, analyzing. What did you notice? Sophia hesitated. I don't know enough yet. But Marco, he doesn't like me. Marco doesn't like change. You represent massive change. It's more than that. He looks at you differently when you're not watching. How, Tama? Sophia struggled for words. Like he's measuring, comparing, maybe envious? Dante's expression shifted, considering. Marco and I grew up together, like brothers. He expected to be my right hand. Then I chose Luca. Blood over friendship. It created distance. But you still trust him? With most things, not all. Dante moved to pour whiskey, offered Sophia one. She declined. He didn't drink his either. In my world, absolute trust doesn't exist. Even family betrays. You trust until given reason not to. Then you act. That sounds lonely. It is. He set down the glass, looked at her. Which is why what you did matters so much. You had no reason to trust me. No history, no obligation. Yet you acted. Pure instinct. Pure goodness. Or pure stupidity. Perhaps both. A slight smile. But I'll take it. They stood in comfortable silence. Then Dante's phone buzzed. He checked it. His expression went rigid. What is it? He turned the phone, showed her a photo. Stefano, one of Luca's security team, tied to a chair, beaten, blood on his face, vacant eyes, text below. Tell Moretti this is just beginning. Sophia's stomach dropped. Who is he? Was, Dante corrected, voice flat. Stefano was watching your old apartment building, making sure Rossi's people didn't get close. They took him 2 days ago. We've been searching. Is he alive? Barely. Dante's hands clenched. They tortured him for information. About you, about us, about security protocols. He told them nothing. But Sophia, this is what Rossi does. He hurts people to send messages. Another text came through. Video this time. Dante hesitated, then played it. The video showed Stefano, beaten worse than the photo, a voice off camera, cold, accented. Tell Moretti this is just the beginning. I'll take everything he loves. His empire, his family, his little waitress, all of it. He should have stayed out of my territory. The camera panned. A man stepped into frame. 50s, silver hair, expensive suit, cruel smile. Vincent Rossi. Sophia stared at the man who wanted her dead. He looked normal, ordinary, like someone's uncle. Evil didn't always look like evil. Stefano is in our medical wing now, Dante continued. Dr. Chow says he'll recover. Months of recovery, but he'll live. Because of me. Because of Rossi. Don't confuse the two. Dante pocketed his phone. But Sophia, this proves my point. Rossi knows your face, knows you matter to me. His next message might involve your sister, your mother, or you. Fear crept up Sophia's spine. Cold. Paralyzing. What do? We find the leak. We plug it. We eliminate Rossi's ability to gather intelligence. And then, Dante's expression hardened. We make sure he understands the consequences of threatening what's mine. The possessiveness in his voice should have scared Sophia. Instead, she felt protected, valued. Strange how quickly perspectives shifted. That night, Sophia couldn't sleep. Pain medication kept the physical hurt manageable, but her mind raced. Stefano's beaten face, Rossi's cold smile, the danger her family faced, the impossible situation she'd stumbled into. Around 2 a.m. she gave up, carefully got out of bed. The mansion was quiet, staff asleep, security invisible but present. She found her way to the terrace, the same one where she'd seen Dante that first morning. City lights sprawled below, Chicago sleeping, unaware of the wars fought in its shadows. Couldn't sleep either. Sophia turned. Dante emerged from the darkness. He'd been sitting in the corner. She hadn't noticed. Pain? No, mine won't stop. I understand that feeling. He gestured to the chair beside him. Sophia sat. They stayed in silence for a while. Comfortable. No need to fill it with words. Finally, Dante spoke. My father died when I was 22. Car bomb. Meant for him. He knew they were coming. Made me promise I'd take care of the family. Sophia listened. Didn't interrupt. Uncle Carlo helped. He was my father's brother. Taught me everything after Dad died. How to stand in a room, how to read people, how to know when someone's lying. Dante's voice went distant, remembering. He was more than family. He was my mentor. My father, really, after Dad died. What happened to him? Died 8 years ago. Car accident. I identified the body. It was destroyed. Fire, but the dental records matched. His voice cracked slightly. I held his hand at the funeral. I'm sorry. Losing Carlo, Dante exhaled. I've never trusted anyone the same way since. In this life, trust is weakness. People exploit it, use it, destroy it. Yet you're trusting me. Yes, he looked at her, and I don't fully understand why. Maybe because you didn't ask for trust, didn't manipulate for it, just acted, saved me, asked nothing in return. I asked for a job. Only after I cornered you with impossible choices. A slight smile. You would have walked away if I'd let you. Would you have? Let me? No. Honest. Too dangerous. For you and for me. But I would have made sure you were safe. Somewhere far from here. Living normally. Sophia considered that. Would normal have been better? Safer, certainly. Better? He shrugged. That's for you to decide. They fell back into silence. Sophia thought about her life 4 days ago. 3 whims. Drowning in debt. Invisible. She'd been surviving. Not living. Now, danger surrounded her. Threats she barely understood. A world of violence and power. But she felt alive. Seen, like she mattered. Strange trade. Tell me about your grandmother, Dante said suddenly. Sophia blinked. What? You mentioned her. At the restaurant. Before everything, you said she taught you to notice things. To be brave. Tell me about her. So Sophia did. She told him about Rosa Martinez, single mother who'd raised her after the accident, who'd worked factory jobs that destroyed her lungs, who'd made sure Sophia always had food, even when Rosa went hungry, who'd taught her that courage wasn't the absence of fear. It was doing what's right despite terror. Who'd died owing $47,000 to hospitals, the same debt Sophia had carried for 8 years. She sounds remarkable, Dante said when Sophia finished. She was. Everything good in me came from her. Then I owe her a debt too. Without her lessons, you wouldn't have saved me. Without her lessons, I might have lived longer, safer, but less meaningfully. Sophia considered that. Maybe. Dante stood, extended his hand. Come, I want to show you something. Sophia took his hand, let him lead her inside, through hallways, downstairs, to a room she hadn't seen before. He opened the door, flipped a light, a library, floor-to-ceiling bookshelves on every wall, thousands of books, leather spines, gold lettering, the smell of paper and history. This was my father's, Dante explained. He loved to read. History, philosophy, poetry. Said books taught him more about human nature than any street education. Sophia turned slowly, taking it in. It's beautiful. You're welcome here. Anytime, day or night. These books are yours now. Read whatever calls to you. Why are you showing me this? Dante moved to a shelf, pulled out a worn volume, handed it to Sophia. Meditations, Marcus Aurelius. My father gave this to me when I was 16. Said if I read nothing else, read this. It's about duty, honor, doing right in a world that rewards wrong. Sophia opened the book, saw notes in the margins, underlined passages. Someone had read this deeply. Your father? And me, and Carlo. 3 generations of Morettis trying to understand how to be good men in a bad business. Did you figure it out? No, but we kept trying. That has to count for something. Sophia closed the book, held it carefully. Thank you for sharing this, for trusting me with it. You saved my life, Sophia. The least I can do is share what shaped it. They stood close, the library quiet around them. Sophia became aware of the space between them, less than a foot. She could feel his warmth. Dante's hand lifted, hesitated, then gently touched her cheek, thumb brushing her cheekbone. You should rest. Healing takes energy. I'm not tired, liar. But he smiled. Come, I'll walk you back. He did, slowly, mindful of her injured shoulder. At her door, he paused. Tomorrow, we start work. Real work. I'll show you the business. The legitimate side. What you'll be managing. It won't be easy. There's a lot to learn. I'm a fast learner. I believe that. He stepped back, creating distance. Good night, Sophia. Good night, Dante. She watched him walk away, disappear into the mansion's shadows, then went inside, closed the door, lay in bed holding Marcus Aurelius, reading by lamplight, trying to understand how to be good in a world that rewarded bad. Eventually sleep found her, and for the first time in 8 years, Sophia Martinez dreamed of something beyond survival. She dreamed of purpose. 3 days later, the breakthrough came violently. Sophia had been working, learning. Dante kept his word, showed her the legitimate operations, real estate portfolios, investment strategies, security consulting contracts with major corporations. It was complex, overwhelming. But Sophia absorbed information like drought earth absorbing rain. She was good at this, better than good. She saw patterns, made connections, suggested improvements that impressed even Antonio. Where have you been hiding her? The old consigliere asked Dante, half joking, half serious. She was invisible, Dante replied, but not anymore. Then came the call, 3 a.m. Sophia woke to shouting, running footsteps. She grabbed a robe, hurried downstairs, found Dante in his study, phone to his ear, face carved from stone. Luca stood nearby, pale, shaking. What happened? Sophia asked. Luca looked at her. My team, 4 men, watching your old apartment building. They're dead, all of them. The world tilted. Sophia grabbed the door frame. How? Professional hits, single shots, executed. Luca's hands clenched. Boss, someone knew exactly where my men were positioned. Every blind spot, every rotation, every protocol. The leak, Dante said, voice flat, dangerous. It's not just information anymore. It's active sabotage. His phone buzzed. Text message. He looked. His expression went darker. He turned the screen to Sophia. A photo. Her sister Bella, walking across campus. Daylight, unaware. Red circle around her head. Caption, we can reach anyone. Sophia's knees gave out. She didn't feel herself fall. Suddenly sitting on the floor. Can't breathe. Can't think. Bella, her baby sister. 19. Innocent. Targeted. Dante was kneeling beside her, hands on her shoulders, grounding. Look at me. Sophia, look at me. She did, his eyes intense, focused. I will not let them touch her. Do you hear me? I will die before they reach Bella. That's a promise. How can you stop them? They got to your men, 4 trained soldiers. What chance does Bella have? Every chance, because now I know they're watching her, which means I watch the watchers. He pulled out his phone, dialed. Luca, I need 8 men on Isabella Martinez, campus security, residence, classes, everywhere. Rotation every 4 hours. Mix familiar faces and new ones. Make it impossible to track patterns. He looked back at Sophia. Your sister won't know. She'll never see them. But they'll be there, shadows keeping her safe. And my mother? Already done. 4 men on Carmen, hospital visits, home, everywhere. Sophia wanted to believe him, wanted to trust, but fear had its claws deep. They're doing this because of me. They're doing this because Rossi is desperate. You're an excuse, not the cause. Dante's voice softened. Sophia, I know you're scared. You should be. This is terrifying. But I need you to trust me. Can you do that? Could she? Trust a man she'd known days, a criminal, a killer probably, someone who lived in shadows. But he'd sat by her bed, protected her family, given her choices, kept every promise. I trust you, she whispered. Something shifted in his expression. Relief, gratitude, something deeper he didn't name. Then let me do what I do best. Protect what's mine. He stood, helped Sophia up, gentle despite the violence simmering under his surface. Luca, full lockdown. Nobody enters this property without 3 levels of clearance. Marcus, vet everyone again. Staff, security, delivery people, everyone. Vincent, I want digital surveillance on every approach to this estate. Antonio, reach out to your contacts. Find out what Rossi's planning. Orders given, men scattered, executing. Dante turned to Sophia. You should rest. I can't, not now, not knowing Bella's in danger. Then stay with me, help me think. He moved to the maps, studied Chicago's territories. We're missing something. Rossi's not stupid. Threatening your family is bold, reckless. Unless what? Unless it's misdirection. Make us focus on protecting your family while he moves somewhere else. Dante's finger traced routes on the map. Sophia, look at this. Tell me what you see. She moved closer, studied the colored sections. Blue for Moretti territory, red for Rossi. Your territories form a ring around his, surrounding him. Exactly. We've been slowly choking at his operations, cutting supply lines, taking key real estate. In 6 months, he'll have nothing left. So he needs to break out, push through your territory somewhere. But where? Dante stepped back. 50 miles of boundaries, dozens of possible breach points. How do we know where he'll hit? Sophia studied the map, let her mind work, seeing patterns, connections. Here, she pointed. Northwest section. These 3 buildings, you control all 3. Warehouses? Yes. Why? Because they're the only place your territory narrows to a single block. Everywhere else you have depth, multiple properties. But here, take these 3 buildings and Rossi punches straight through to the port. Dante stared at the map, then at Sophia. How did you see that? I look for weak points. It's what waitresses do. Find where service breaks down, where problems emerge. This is the same thing, different scale. Luca, Dante's voice sharp. His nephew appeared instantly. These 3 buildings, what's our security there? Luca checked his tablet. Standard, 6 men total, 2 per building, rotating shifts. Not enough, triple it, and I want our best people. Marco's team, they're trained for heavy combat. Marco's team is handling the international shipment. Arrives tonight. Dante paused, thinking. When tonight? Midnight, Pier 17. Something clicked in Sophia's mind. Dante, where's Pier 17? He pointed, northeast section. Opposite side of the city from the warehouses. And Marco's entire team will be there, leaving other areas understaffed? Yes, but the shipment is critical. High value, can't be delayed. Sophia's stomach dropped. It's a trap. Rossi isn't hitting the warehouses. He's hitting wherever Marco's team isn't. You send your best soldiers to the pier, he strikes somewhere they can't respond. Dante went very still. Luca, where else do we have high-value targets tonight? Luca checked. The vault, counting house, where we process weekly collections, should have 3 million cash. But that's here, on the estate, behind all our security. What time does the counting finish? Midnight, same time as the shipment. And who knows both schedules? Sophia asked quietly. Dante's eyes went cold, hard, understanding dawning. Marco. The name hung in the air, heavy, terrible. Uncle, you can't seriously think. I think Marco's been my cousin for 38 years. I think he expected to be my right hand, and I chose you instead. I think he's managed international operations for a decade with access to everything. Schedules, security, protocols. Dante's voice stayed level, controlled, but rage simmered beneath. And I think he looks at Sophia with resentment, because she represents change, because I've let her into my confidence faster than I've trusted anyone in years, because she threatens his position. Or, Antonio said from the doorway, they hadn't heard him enter, because Marco isn't the leak. Everyone turned. Antonio stood calm, composed, but his hand rested inside his jacket. Gun, probably. What are you saying? Dante asked. I'm saying sometimes the obvious answer is correct, and sometimes it's exactly what someone wants you to think. Antonio's eyes moved to Sophia. She appears, saves you, convenient, gains your trust, immediately, gets brought into your inner circle, learns our operations, and suddenly we have a leak. Our security fails. Your enemies know things they shouldn't. You think Sophia is the traitor? Luca's voice sharp, defensive. I think we should consider all possibilities. Dante moved, placing himself between Antonio and Sophia, protective, possessive. Sophia took a bullet for me, nearly died. Or took a bullet to gain your trust. Rossi's men could have been ordered to shoot her. Non-fatal, staged, creating the perfect cover for a spree. Sophia's mind reeled. She wanted to protest, defend herself. But the logic was sound. If she were Dante, she might suspect herself too. Antonio, Dante's voice went deadly quiet. You've advised me for 20 years. I trust your counsel, but I trust my instincts more. And my instincts say Sophia is innocent. Instincts? Antonio laughed, bitter. Or infatuation. You care for her. It's obvious, and that caring clouds your judgment. My judgment is clear. Then prove it. Let me investigate her history, her connections. If she's clean, we'll know. If not, Antonio's hands shifted inside his jacket. We deal with threats appropriately. Tension crackled. Luca's hand moved to his own weapon. Dante stood rigid, ready to fight. Sophia stepped forward, moved around Dante despite his attempt to stop her. Investigate me, she said, looking at Antonio directly. I have nothing to hide. Check my history, my apartment, my finances, my family, everything. If it proves I'm innocent, maybe you'll stop wasting time on me and find the real leak before more people die. Antonio studied her. Long moment, assessing. Then he nodded slowly. Agreed, I'll start immediately. He left. Dante released a breath he'd been holding. That was brave, Luca said. Or crazy. Both, Sophia admitted. Her hands shook, adrenaline crash. But he's right to be suspicious. I would be too. Dante turned her to face him, hands on her shoulders. I don't suspect you. Not for a second. You should until Antonio clears me. Trust, but verify. Isn't that what you said? I also said you're the first person in 20 years who helped me without agenda. I meant it. His hands tightened slightly, not painful, grounding. We'll prove your innocence. Then we'll find the real traitor, and we'll make sure they understand the cost of betrayal. The promise in his voice sent chills down Sophia's spine. Not fear, something else. Anticipation, maybe. Justice coming. Outside, dawn broke over Chicago. New day, new dangers. But Sophia Martinez stood in a crime boss's study, surrounded by his soldiers, accused of treason, and refused to break. Because she'd learned something in 4 days of bullet wounds and blood and impossible choices. She was stronger than she'd ever known. And Dante Moretti was worth fighting for. Even if that fight might kill her. The investigation took 3 days. Antonio worked with ruthless efficiency. He dissected Sophia's entire life. Bank records, phone logs, employment history. Every person she'd ever known. He interviewed neighbors, questioned former coworkers, pulled security footage from her apartment building going back months. Sophia cooperated fully, gave passwords, signed releases, answered every question no matter how invasive. Dante stayed close, not hovering, but present, visible support that Antonio noted with disapproval. On the evening of the third ball, Antonio called a meeting. The inner circle gathered, plus Sophia. She'd been training with Luca, learning to shoot, basic self-defense. Her shoulder still ached but healed more each day. Antonio entered carrying a thick folder. He set it on Dante's desk with deliberate weight. I've completed my investigation of Sofia Martinez. The room held its breath. And? Antonio looked at Sofia, his expression unreadable, then back to Dante. She's clean, completely. No suspicious contacts, no unexplained income, no connection to Rossi or any rival organization. Her life is exactly what it appears, a woman working herself to death to support her family. Nothing more, nothing less. Relief flooded through Sophia. Her knees went weak. She stayed standing through sheer will. You're certain? Dante's voice steady. He'd never doubted, but needed Antonio convinced. As certain as possible. I found no evidence of deception. In fact, I found the opposite. Years of documented struggle, sacrifices made, a woman of principle living those principles. Antonio paused. She's not our leak. Then who is? Luca demanded. That remains unclear, but we can eliminate suspects. Sophia, everyone in this room. I've vetted all of us. The leak is someone with access but outside our inner circle. That's still dozens of people, Marcus noted. 43 to be exact. Security personnel, house staff, drivers, low-level soldiers. Antonio opened his folder. I've narrowed it to 12 possibles. People with enough access to know schedules, with enough freedom to communicate externally without suspicion. He laid out photos, faces Sophia didn't recognize, except one. Him, Sophia pointed, young man, mid-20s, handsome, forgettable features. Danny Caruso, new security hire, been with us 3 months. Antonio frowned. Why him? He was at the restaurant the night I was shot. I noticed him because he arrived after Dante. Sat at the bar, didn't order food, just water. Watched everything. Left right before the shooting started. Every eye turned to her. You're sure? Dante asked. Positive. He kept checking his phone, nervous. Out of place, I remember thinking he didn't belong. But we were busy and I forgot until now. Luca was already on his phone. Danny Caruso, where is he now? Vincent typed rapidly on his laptop. Personnel records show him scheduled for East Perimeter tonight, but GPS tracker on his vehicle shows him 20 miles away. Industrial District. That's Rossi territory, Marcus said. Dante stood, energy focused, dangerous. Bring him in, alive. I want to know everything he's told Rossi, every detail he's leaked. On it. Luca moved toward the door, stopped. Uncle, this could be a trap. If Caruso is the leak, Rossi knows we're looking. Could be bait. Then we go prepared. Dante looked at his assembled men. Full tactical, I want 12 soldiers. Heavy weapons. And I'm going personally. Boss, that's not negotiable. Someone has been betraying my family for months, selling our secrets, and getting my people killed. I will look him in the eye when he explains why. The tone brooked no argument. I'm coming too, Sophia said. Absolutely not. Dante's response immediate. Too dangerous. He leaked my information, put my family at risk. I deserve to face him. No. Dante, I said no, Sophia. This isn't a discussion. You stay here behind walls, behind security, where you're safe. Anger flared in Sophia's chest. I'm not a prisoner. You're under protection. There's a difference. Is there, or is this just another cage with prettier bars? The room went silent, watching the confrontation. Not taking sides. Dante's jaw tightened. This isn't about control. It's about keeping you alive. Then teach me to keep myself alive. Give me a gun. Let me fight. Stop treating me like I'm fragile. You were shot 3 weeks ago. And I'm healing. I can shoot. Luca's been training me. I'm not helpless, Dante. Stop making me feel like I am. They stared at each other. Battle of wills. Neither backing down. Finally, Antonio spoke. Let her come. Everyone turned. Hear me out, the old advisor continued. Caruso sold information about Sophia. Used her to betray us. Seeing her alive, healthy, protected might rattle him, might make him careless. People confess more when confronted with their failure. She could get hurt, Dante argued. She could, or she could be an asset. Antonio looked at Sophia. Can you follow orders, not act impulsively? Trust these men to protect you? Yes. Then bring her. Keep her back, away from direct engagement. But let her see justice done. She's earned that right. Dante closed his eyes, internal struggle visible. When he opened them, he looked at Sophia. You follow every order. No argument, no hesitation. If I say run, you run. If I say hide, you hide. Agreed? Agreed. And you wear full tactical gear. Vest, helmet, everything. Yes. And you stay with Marcus at all times. He's responsible for your safety. Understood. Dante nodded once. Then gear up. We leave in 30 minutes. The industrial district at night looked post-apocalyptic. Abandoned warehouses, broken streetlights, rusted equipment creating shadows that moved in wind. Sophia sat in the back of an armored SUV. Marcus beside her, both wearing tactical vests. Marcus carried a submachine gun. He'd given Sophia a handgun. Showed her again how to use it. Hoped she wouldn't need to. Ahead, Dante and Luca coordinated teams. 12 men total, military precision. They'd located Caruso's vehicle inside a warehouse 2 blocks away. Remember, Marcus said quietly, you stay in the vehicle until cleared. No matter what you hear, no matter what happens, you stay here. I remember. Good girl. They moved out, silent, disciplined, disappearing into darkness. Sophia waited, watching through bulletproof glass, heart pounding, shoulder throbbing despite painkillers. Minutes stretched, felt like hours. Then gunfire erupted. Not a few shots, a sustained firefight, automatic weapons, the distinctive crack of rifles, heavier booms of shotguns. Sophia's hands gripped the seat, every instinct screaming to help, to do something. Marcus remained calm, professional, listening to comms in his earpiece, relaying nothing to Sophia. More gunfire, then silence. Terrible silence. Marcus? Hold. His earpiece crackled. He listened. Nodded though no one could see. Clear, boss says bring her. They exited the SUV. Marcus kept Sophia behind him, one hand on his weapon, other hand ready to pull her back if needed. They entered the warehouse through a side door. Inside, devastation. Bullet holes stitched across walls. Shell casings littering the concrete floor. The sharp smell of gunpowder. 6 bodies. Rossi's men based on Marcus's identification. All dead. Dante's team had executed them efficiently, professionally. In the center of the warehouse, Danny Caruso knelt, hands zip-tied behind his back, blood dripping from his nose. Dante stood over him, Luca to one side. The other soldiers formed a perimeter. Sophia approached slowly, Marcus at her elbow. Dante glanced back, saw her, his expression complicated. Regret, maybe, that she had to see this, but also acceptance. This was his world. She'd asked to enter. Now she saw what that meant. Sophia, Dante's voice formal, this is Danny Caruso. He's been leaking information to Vincent Rossi for 4 months. Surveillance schedules, personnel movements, security protocols, everything Rossi needed to target us. And you. Sophia looked down at the kneeling man. He was young, maybe 26, scared now, trembling. Why? She asked. Danny's eyes lifted, met hers. Money. Rossi paid $50,000. My mother needs surgery. I couldn't afford it. So you sold us out. Got people killed. I didn't think anyone would die. I just gave locations, schedules. I didn't know what he'd do with it. You knew exactly what he'd do, Dante said coldly. You're not stupid, just greedy. My mother will receive her surgery, fully paid, along with a death benefit for her son who died in a tragic accident. Dante crouched, eye level with Danny. That's mercy, more than you deserve. Your mother won't know what you did, won't live with the shame. Danny's face crumpled. Please, I'm sorry. I'll do anything. I'll tell you everything Rossi is planning. I already know what Rossi is planning because you're going to tell me. Then we're going to use that information. And then you're going to disappear. I'll run, leave Chicago. You'll never see me again. Oh, you'll leave Chicago, but not the way you think. The finality in Dante's voice chilled Sophia. This was justice in his world. Swift, absolute. No courts, no appeals, just consequences. Talk, Luca said. What's Rossi planning? Danny swallowed. He's hitting multiple targets tomorrow night simultaneously. Your 3 warehouse, the counting house, and your estate. Everyone went still. The estate, Dante repeated. My home. He wants you dead, says once you're gone, the family fractures. He takes everything. How many men? All of them. 60 soldiers, 20 at each warehouse, 10 at the counting house, the rest at the estate. Dante stood, paced, thinking rapidly. We can't defend everywhere, Luca said. Not against those numbers. We don't defend, we attack. Dante turned. He's leaving his own territory exposed, sending everyone here. That's his weakness. You want to hit Rossi directly? Marcus sounded skeptical. I want to end this, permanently. Take Rossi off the board. His organization collapses. The threat disappears. That's risky. If we fail, we don't fail. Dante looked at his assembled men. We've been playing defense for months. Time to take the fight to him. Antonio stepped forward. If we're doing this, we need allies. We can't take 60 soldiers with our numbers. Who's Rossi's biggest rival besides us? Dante asked. The Castellano family, North Side. Rossi took 3 of their territories last year. They want revenge. Then we offer them something they want. Help us take Rossi. They get his northern territories. We get peace. They'll want more. Then we negotiate, but we need more men. And we need them tonight. The next hours blurred with activity. Dante made calls, negotiated alliances, promised territory and future favors. Castellano agreed to provide 30 soldiers. Others contributed smaller numbers. By midnight, Dante had assembled 80 men, not all loyal to him, some mercenaries, some rival families with their own agendas, but united by common goal. Remove Vincent Rossi. Sophia watched the planning, fascinated despite the danger. This was Dante at his core, strategist, commander, leader of men who lived and died by his decisions. He transformed. Not the gentle man who'd sat by her bedside, not the conflicted soul who'd shared his father's books. This was Dante Moretti, Mafia boss, dangerous, brilliant, terrifying. And Sophia found herself drawn to him more, not less. You should return to the estate, Dante told her, as men prepared to move out. Behind the walls. This part isn't safe. None of this is safe, I'm staying. Miss Sophia, you said if I followed orders, I could come. I followed every order. Now I'm choosing to see this through, unless you're going to physically force me to leave. Dante studied her face, searching for fear, finding only determination. You're going to be the death of me, he said quietly. Better than letting Rossi do it. Despite everything, he almost smiled. Stay with Marcus, same rules. You follow his orders like they're mine. I will. And Sophia, he stepped closer, cupped her face with one hand, thumb brushing her cheekbone in that gesture she'd come to know. If something happens, if this goes wrong, you run. You don't try to help. You don't try to save anyone. You just run. Promise me. Dante, promise me. She saw it in his eyes. Fear, real fear, not for himself, for her. I promise by him. He held her gaze a moment longer, then released her. Turned to his men. Move out. They traveled in convoy, 5 SUVs, 80 men armed for war, moving through Chicago's night like a shadow. Rossi's headquarters was a restaurant, legitimate front, but everyone knew what happened in the back rooms. The basement, the private offices where decisions were made and bodies were buried. Dante's plan was simple, brutal, effective, hit hard, hit fast. Overwhelm Rossi's defenses before he could react. Take him alive if possible, dead if necessary, but take him off the board. Sophia rode with Marcus and 3 other soldiers. They parked 2 blocks away, far enough to avoid immediate danger, close enough to respond if needed. Through the SUV's communication system, Sophia heard everything. Dante's voice, calm, commanding. Teams 1 and 2, front entrance. 3 and 4, loading dock. 5 and 6, roof access. Castellano, your people have the perimeter. No one gets out. No one gets reinforcements. On my mark. Silence. Sophia's heart hammered. She counted seconds. Mark. Chaos erupted, not visible from where Sophia sat, but audible through comms, shouting, gunfire, explosions as doors were breached. Marcus listened intently, hand on his weapon, ready to move if called. Contact, front entrance, heavy resistance. Roof team is engaged, multiple hostiles. Loading dock secure, moving to secondary positions. The voices overlapped, professional, clipped, men doing violent work with mechanical precision. Then Dante's voice. Rossi located, third floor office, I'm pursuing. Boss, wait for backup. Negative, he's running. If he escapes, this was for nothing. Luca's voice. Uncle, damn it, don't go alone. Static. Then nothing from Dante's channel. Sophia's stomach clenched. Marcus, what's happening? Boss is being reckless, but he usually is when stakes are high. Is he going to be okay? Marcus didn't answer, which was answer enough. More voices on comms, the battle spreading throughout the building. Rossi's men fighting desperately, knowing this was their last stand. Then a different sound, a massive explosion. The ground shook even 2 blocks away. What was that? Sophia demanded. Marcus's face went pale. Building collapse, at least partial. Something catastrophic. Where's Dante? Unknown. His comms are dead. Sophia's hand went to the door handle. Marcus caught her wrist. No, you promised. You stay here. He could be hurt, trapped. And if you go in, you'll be trapped too. Sophia, listen to me. Dante gave me one job tonight. Keep you safe. If I fail, if anything happens to you, he'll never forgive me. I'll never forgive myself. Please, trust him. He's survived worse. Sophia wanted to argue, scream, run toward danger like she'd done at the restaurant. But she'd promised. She'd given her word. So she sat, hands clenched, listening to static on Dante's channel, praying to a God she hadn't believed in for years. Please, please let him be okay. Minutes passed like hours. Then a voice, rough, strained, but unmistakably Dante's. This is Moretti. I have Rossi, requesting extraction. Relief crashed through Sophia so intensely she gasped. What's your location, boss? Luca asked. Southwest corner, 3rd floor. Partial collapse blocked the stairs. Need alternative route. Fire escape is compromised. Can you reach the roof? Negative. Rossi is injured. Can't climb. Luca paused, thinking. Hold position. We're coming to you. Luca, the building is unstable. Don't risk unnecessary casualties. You're not unnecessary, Uncle. Hold tight. The next 20 minutes were tense. Teams repositioned. Engineers assessed structural damage. A plan formed. They'd use the fire department's aerial ladder. Extended to the 3rd floor. Extract Dante and Rossi through the window. Sophia watched from the SUV as the ladder extended. Saw figures moving in the damaged building. Saw Dante appear at a window. Blood on his face. Supporting another man. Rossi, presumably. They crossed the ladder. Slowly, carefully. The building groaned behind them, threatening further collapse. When Dante's feet hit solid ground, Sophia's chest unclenched. He was alive. 30 minutes later, the situation secured. Rossi's men dead or captured. The building evacuated before final collapse. Minimal casualties on Dante's side. Sophia watched as they brought Rossi to the parking lot. The man from the video. Silver hair matted with blood now. Expensive suit torn. Leg clearly broken. But alive. Conscious. Glaring at Dante with pure hatred. You think this ends anything? Rossi spat. Kill me. Someone else takes my place. This war never ends. You're right, Dante said calmly. It doesn't end unless we change the rules. He turned to the assembled men. Moretti soldiers, Castellano family, various mercenaries and rivals. Vincent Rossi declared war on my family. Killed my people. Threatened innocence. The old rules said we fight until one side is destroyed. Endless cycle of revenge and blood. He paused, letting his words carry. I'm proposing new rules. We divide Chicago. Clear territories. Agreed boundaries. No encroachment. No expansion. Peace enforced by all families together. Anyone who breaks peace answers to everyone. Murmurs, skepticism, but also interest. Why would we agree? Castellanos' representative asked. What's to stop you from taking everything once we disarm? Because I'm leaving, transitioning out of this life. Over the next 2 years, I'll phase out illegal operations, go completely legitimate. My territories will be absorbed by the remaining families, fairly divided. Shock rippled through the assembled men. You're serious, Castellanos' man said. Completely. I've been planning this for years. Tonight accelerates the timeline. But yes, I'm out. I want peace. I want legitimate business. I want a life beyond violence. He looked at Sophia as he said it. She felt the weight of his wine, this decision, this massive shift, partly because of her, because she represented something he wanted more than power. Normal, peace, a future beyond survival. What about him? Luca gestured to Rossi. Rossi violated every code, threatened civilians, killed indiscriminately. He doesn't deserve mercy. Dante crouched, eye level with his enemy. But I'm not my father, or my uncle. I don't perpetuate cycles. I end them. He stood, looked at Castellanos' representative. He's yours. Do what you want. I don't care. He's no longer my concern. You're just giving him away? Rossi's voice rose. Panicked. He knew what Castellano would do. Their reputation for vengeance was legendary. I'm refusing to let you consume more of my life. You're irrelevant now, a problem for someone else. Dante turned away, dismissed Rossi completely, walked toward Sophia. Behind him, Castellanos' men grabbed Rossi, dragged him away. His protest faded into the night. Justice served, maybe not the kind courts recognized, but effective nonetheless. Dante reached Sophia. Marcus stepped aside, giving them space. You're hurt, Sophia said, reaching toward the cut on Dante's forehead. I've had worse. He caught her hand, held it. I was terrified the whole time, not for myself, for you, that I'd made a terrible decision bringing you, that you'd get hurt because of my ego. I'm fine. You're the one who brought a building down. That wasn't intentional. A slight smile. Mostly. They stood close, surrounded by soldiers and violence and the aftermath of war. But in that moment, just two people, connected by something neither fully understood yet. Did you mean it? Sophia asked quietly. About leaving, going legitimate. Every word. I've been building toward it for years. But meeting you, seeing what real courage looks like, what real goodness looks like, it made me want it more, want it faster. That's a lot of pressure. You're not responsible for my choices, but you did inspire them. His thumb traced circles on her hand. I can't promise a normal life. My history follows me. But I can promise I'll try to be better, to be someone worthy of what you did for me. Sophia's throat tightened. You're already worthy. I'm really not, but I appreciate the lie. It's not a lie. You protected my family, gave me choices, kept every promise. That's worth something. Worth a bullet in the shoulder? Worth everything. They held each other's palm, the world fading around them. Then, Luca approached. Boss, we should move. Police will respond eventually. Even paid boys need to show up. Reality intruded. Right. Dante released Sophia's hand, reluctantly. Let's go home. Home. Strange word, but accurate. Sophia had an apartment somewhere, tiny, cramped, filled with old furniture and older memories. But that wasn't home anymore. Home was wherever Dante was. Terrifying realization. And absolutely true. 6 months later. Sophia Martinez stood at the floor-to-ceiling windows of the penthouse, watching Chicago wake beneath a November sunrise. Same view she'd seen that first morning after the shooting. Different woman looking at it now. The scar on her left shoulder caught morning light, visible in the reflection. She wore a sleeveless dress today, despite the cold. On meetings with the Peterson Group, potential acquisition target, they needed to see her as strong, capable, not a victim. The scar helped. Battle scars told stories. Hers told truth. Behind her, the penthouse hummed with quiet activity. Dante's voice in his office, speaking Italian into his phone. Negotiating, always negotiating, but different negotiations now. Real estate, investment portfolios, security consulting contracts, clean money, legal money, money that wouldn't destroy them. Coffee's ready. Olivia Chen appeared from the kitchen carrying 2 mugs. She'd become more than Dante's operations manager, more than Sophia's mentor, something closer to family. Thank you. Sophia took the mug, perfect temperature. Olivia knew everything. Peterson meeting at 10, Castellano lunch at noon, and Bella called. She's arriving at 2 for the weekend visit. Sophia's chest warmed. She's really coming? Every other weekend now. The security protocols are seamless. She doesn't even notice the details anymore. Olivia smiled, rare expression for her. Your sister is thriving, Sophia. Nursing program, top of her class. That's because you gave her the chance. Dante gave her the chance. You both did. Olivia set her own mug down. Serious now. I've worked for this family 22 years. Watched Dante grow from angry young man to controlled leader to this, whatever this is, happier, lighter. That's because of you. I didn't, you did. You showed him there's more than survival, more than power. You showed him living. Olivia moved toward the door, paused. I'm glad you stayed, even when it was hard, even when you had every reason to run. After Olivia left, Sophia returned to the window, thought about that first morning, waking up shot, trapped, terrified. 6 months ago, felt like 6 years, felt like 6 minutes. Admiring my city? Dante emerged from his office, shirt sleeves rolled up, hair slightly disheveled. He'd been working since 5 a.m., always an early riser. Our city now, Sophia turned. Olivia says Bella's coming this afternoon. I know, I arranged for Marcus to collect her from campus. He's bringing lunch from that place she likes. The one with the ridiculous sandwiches. Sophia laughed. She's going to be insufferable. You spoil her. Someone has to. Her sister is a workaholic who forgot how to relax. He crossed to her, hands finding her waist. Familiar gesture now. 6 months of learning each other's rhythms. Speaking of which, the Peterson meeting. Are you ready? I've been ready for 3 weeks. We have the financing. The due diligence is clean. They'd be idiots to refuse. Good. He pressed a kiss to her temple. Because after that meeting, I have something to show you. What kind of something? A surprise. The good kind. I promise, Bonfires. The Peterson meeting went exactly as Sophia predicted. They accepted Moretti Capital's offer. $10 million deal. Completely legitimate. Completely clean. Sophia had negotiated the entire thing. Her first major acquisition. Dante sat in the background, observing, letting her lead. When they left the conference room, he pulled her aside. You were magnificent. I was prepared. You were born for this. His pride evident, not condescending, genuine respect. Ready for your surprise. They drove out of the city, 40 minutes, to a neighborhood Sophia didn't recognize. Tree-lined streets, historic homes, beautiful architecture. Dante pulled into a driveway, Victorian house, 3 stories, wraparound porch, garden visible in back. What is this? Sophia asked. Our future. Maybe. If you want it. He got out, came around to open her door. I bought it 6 weeks ago, had architects draw up renovation plans. But I haven't signed anything, because it's not just my decision. He led her up the front steps, unlocked the door. Inside took Sophia's breath. Hardwood floors, original crown molding, fireplace, built-in bookshelves, natural light pouring through large windows. It needs work, Dante said. Walking through the empty rooms, new kitchen, updated bathrooms, but the bones are solid. And Sophia, look. He opened a door, study, smaller than his penthouse office, but perfect. Desk space, more bookshelves, windows overlooking the garden. Your office, if you want it, close enough to headquarters but separate. Private, yours. Next room, guest room for Bella. She could stay weekends, school breaks, have a space that's hers. Third room, your mother, if her health allows, if she wants to be closer. Medical equipment can be installed, nurses on staff. He turned to Sophia, vulnerable in a way she'd only seen a handful of times. I'm leaving the penthouse. Too many memories, too much violence. I want to build something new, but not alone. With you, if you'll have me. Have this. Sophia's throat tightened. Dante, this is too much too fast, I know. We've only been together 6 months. But Sophia, I've spent 18 years in that penthouse. 18 years building an empire I didn't want. Finally, I have a chance at something real, something good, and I want it with you. He took her hand. I'm not asking you to marry me. Not yet. I know it's too soon. But I'm asking if you'll build a home with me. A real home. Not a fortress. Not a safe house. A place where Bella visits and your mother heals and we wake up to coffee and normal problems. What about the business? Sophia's practical mind kicking in. The transition? Ahead of schedule. 60% of operations are clean now. Another 18 months and we're completely legitimate. The families have honored the peace agreement. Castellano controls former Rossi territory. We've had 0 violent incidents in 4 months. He gestured around the empty house. This represents everything I'm working toward. Normal life, family dinners, arguing about whose turn it is to take out trash, growing old somewhere that doesn't have a panic room. Sophia looked around the space, imagined Bella's textbooks spread across the kitchen table, Carmen in the garden, feeling well enough to tend flowers, Dante reading by the fireplace on winter evenings, imagined herself coming home to this. Not a penthouse, not wealth and power and danger. Just home. Yes, she whispered. Yes? Yes, I'll build a home with you. Yes, I want normal. Yes to all of it. Dante's smile transformed his face, opened him completely. He pulled her close, careful of her shoulder still. Always careful. I love you, he said against her hair. I've wanted to say it for months. Wasn't sure you were ready to hear it. I love you too. Sophia pulled back, looked him in the eyes. I think I have since you sat by my bed for 3 days. Maybe even since you promised to burn the city down if I died. Terrible basis for love. Perfect basis for us. They kissed, slow and sweet and full of promise. 6 months of building toward this moment. When they pulled apart, Dante's phone buzzed. He ignored it. You should check that. Later, this is more important. But Sophia grabbed the phone, glanced at the screen, text from Luca. It's about Stefano. He's asking when you'll visit. Dante's expression shifted. Guilt there. I've been avoiding him. He almost died protecting you, protecting us. And I haven't been able to face what that cost. Then let's go together today, before Bella arrives. Sophia, he sacrificed for both of us. The least we can do is thank him properly. They drove to Luca's building. Stefano had recovered at a rehab facility for 2 months. Now lived in an apartment Dante provided. Full medical coverage, pension, everything needed, but Dante hadn't visited since the first week. Couldn't bear seeing the permanent damage. The limp, the scars. Stefano answered the door, thinner, older looking, but alive, smiling when he saw them. Boss, Miss Martinez, come in. The apartment was modest but comfortable. Stefano moved carefully but independently. No wheelchair, no cane, just residual stiffness. You look good, Dante said. Awkward, uncertain. Liar, but I appreciate it. Stefano gestured to chairs. Coffee? Let me. Sophia moved to the kitchen, gave them space. She heard them talking. Low voices, Stefano reassuring Dante. I knew the risks, made my choice, would do it again. Dante's voice rough. You almost died. But didn't. And boss, look at me. Really look. I'm alive. Healing. Got a job lined up with Lucas Security Consulting. Legitimate work. Good pay. Even started dating a nurse from the rehab place. Life is good. After what I put you through, after what Rossi put me through, you saved me, boss. Came in that warehouse. Carried me out yourself, I remember. You thought I was unconscious, but I remember. You told me to hold on, that I mattered, that the family takes care of its own. Pause, then Stefano continued. You kept that promise, medical care, this apartment, the making sure I'm set up for life. That's honor, boss. That's why I serve you, not fear, not obligation, respect. When Sophia returned with coffee, both men had wet eyes. Neither acknowledged it. They stayed an hour. Stefano told stories, made them laugh, showed photos of Maria, the nurse, talked about the future with hope instead of bitterness. As they left, Stefano pulled Dante aside. Sophia heard him say, "You're doing good work, boss. The transition, going clean. It's the right move." And her? He nodded towards Sophia. "She's the best decision you ever made. Don't let her go." "I don't intend to." In the car, Dante was quiet. Finally, he spoke. "I've been carrying guilt for 6 months. About you getting shot. About Stefano. About every person who's been hurt because of my choices. But Stefano's right. I can't change the past. Can only build a better future. That's all any of us can do." They returned to the penthouse to find Bella already there. Marcus had collected her early. She sat at the kitchen island, eating ridiculous sandwiches, talking Olivia's ear off about pharmacology class. "Ellie!" Bella jumped up, hugged Sophia carefully. They'd learned to avoid the left shoulder. "Marcus says you closed a huge deal today. $10 million. That's insane." "Just business." "Just business," she says. Bella rolled her eyes. "6 months ago you were serving coffee. Now you're buying companies. It's like a movie. A weird movie. The best kind." Bella looked at Dante. "And you?" "I need to talk to you about Mom." "Is she all right?" Immediate concern. "She's fine. Great, actually. The treatments are working. Her doctors say she's in remission. First time in 8 years." Bella's voice thick with emotion. "But she's lonely, in that apartment by herself, and I've been thinking." "She could live with us," Sophia said, understanding immediately. "Would that be okay? I know it's a lot, and she'd need medical equipment. Nurses sometimes." Dante exchanged a glance with Sophia. "We're buying a house, bigger, with a room specifically designed for her if she wants it." Bella's eyes went wide. "You're buying a house? Together?" "Yes." "Like together together?" "Very much together." Bella squealed, actually squealed. "Oh my God, I knew it. I told Mom. I said they're definitely in love but trying to be professional. She owes me $20. "You bet on our relationship?" Sophia asked. "Obviously, and I won." Bella hugged them both, carefully avoiding Sophia's shoulder. "I'm so happy for you. Both of you. You deserve this." That evening they had dinner together. All of them. Dante, Sophia, Bella, Luca, Marcus, Olivia, Antonio. Even Thomas via video call from Florida. Family dinner. Loud, chaotic, perfect. Antonio raised his glass. "To new beginnings, may they be better than our endings." Everyone drank. After dinner, after Bella went to bed in the guest room, after everyone else left, Sophia and Dante stood on the terrace, Chicago glittering below. 6 months ago, Sophia said quietly, I was invisible, drowning, hopeless. I took a bullet and everything changed. 6 months ago, I was powerful, successful, empty. You took a bullet and saved my life in more ways than one. We saved each other, bro. Yes, he pulled her close. And we'll keep saving each other every day, from cynicism, from hopelessness, from forgetting there's good in the world. That's a lot of responsibility. We're up for it. They stood in comfortable silence. Then Sophia spoke. The house. When can we move in? Renovations start next week. Maybe 3 months. We hate conmigo. Because I'm tired of living in a penthouse that feels like a museum. I want home. I want normal. I want to argue about whose turn it is to do dishes. Dante laughed, real, joyful. I never do dishes. I have people for that. Not anymore. Normal people do their own dishes. This normal thing is going to be an adjustment. You'll survive. With you, I think I will. Sophia turned in his arms, looked up at him. This man who'd been a stranger 6 months ago, who'd become everything. I love you, Dante Moretti. Monster, businessman, man trying to be better. All of it. I love you, Sophia Martinez. Waitress, executive, woman who saw me when I was invisible to myself. They kissed as the city sparkled below. Two people who'd found each other in chaos, who'd built something real from violence and fear. One bullet had changed everything, but it was their choices after that bullet that made the difference. The choice to stay, to fight, to love, to build. Sophia had saved Dante's life in a restaurant. He'd returned the favor by giving her one worth living. And together they'd build something neither could have imagined. A home, a family, a future. Not perfect, never perfect, but theirs. And that was enough, more than enough. It was everything.